I think Devin seemed like he'd be familiar with the soundboard.
I don't know. He's pretty impressed when he walked in.
DJ Fred.
When he walked into our closet. But sweet, you got a sweet soundboard. Can't afford an office space. Hello. Welcome back to our second episode of Bardown Beauties, presented by SodaStick.com. We actually brought the studio to the rink, appropriately, coming to you live from TRIA, where we had just gotten done speaking with Mr. Devan Dubnyk of the Minnesota Wild. Stick around, as he is our special guest on EP 2. I'm your host, Jesse Pierce, writer for The Athletic, NHL.com, and Touchpoint Media, alongside Miss Alexis Pearson, Minnesota Whitecaps color commentator, also with the Wild Radio Network, and our rock star producer, Fred Vinefort. Say what's up, Fred.
What's up?
Yay, Fred.
Lots and lots to get to today, but holy shit, Alexis. So here we are again, episode 2. An awesome launch on our first episode.
Yeah, that was... I feel like I wasn't even, like, conscious for, like, that whole day. Like, everything happened so fast. I was like, what is going on? Like, there was so many people, like, reaching out and, like, you know,
I blacked out.
No, literally.
I, like, not in my normal, like, too much fireball fashion, but, like, I legit blacked out for the day, I think.
Like, literally, like, every time I went on social media, it was something new. Every time I checked my phone, somebody was texting and saying, hey, like, sending screenshots of them listening. I'm like, oh my God, this is so cool. Like, it was just, like, really nice. And the feedback was great. And people, you know, offering suggestions. And everything was just so fantastic, because you truly never know how that kind of stuff is going to go. I mean, you hope for the best, and you're like, yeah, we're awesome. It's going to be great.
Yeah, we think we're awesome. But you never really can tell until we hear it. So, again, thank you guys so much. Thank you for coming back, tuning in once again. We've got lots to talk about. First of all, let's not tiptoe around it. Let's jump right in. Winter Classic, baby. It is coming to Minnesota next January 1st. Actually, we're able to get out to outdoor practice last Thursday with the Minnesota Wild, where they officially announced it kind of here in St. Paul. And it's great, exciting. It's here.
Yeah, I mean, I know this is something. I mean, we had the Stadium Series a few years ago. That was really exciting, the alumni game, all that stuff. But this is something that fans, media, players, everyone has been wanting this for so long. I know this
slated for so long, right?
Literally every year when they announce it, it's like, oh, not Minnesota again, damn it. Like, you just every
Another
year.
Blackhawks. What? Right?
Literally, Fred, insert an eye roll into this if you're editing this. Yeah, so it was one of those things where you knew it was going to happen eventually. I mean, how could you not do a Winter Classic in Minnesota? But every year that it passed us, I was like, oh, not
just
again.
Another dagger in the hearts of the state of hockey. But it is
finally
here. Yes, it's exciting. I actually covered the Stadium Series in 2016.
I was there as a fan.
It was
that was before my media time.
Like 10 or what? How old were you?
4. I was like 20, 21.
No, it was wonderful. They did it up big, and I think they're planning even bigger for this year. They've got a week-long list of events, I believe, that they're trying to get on the docket. Got it at Target Field, which will be great.
I'm
gorgeous
excited
backdrop.
for that,
Yep, and I know a lot of the players are equally as excited. You've got your Minnesotan Zach Parise, Alex Stalock, who have been there. They've engaged with the Twins fan base quite a bit. And then every guy loves an outdoor game. You can't help but get romantic about outdoor hockey.
Yeah, that's just never going to die. I mean, as a fan, it's fun to go be a part of those things. I know the players love it, the coaches love it. I mean, that's just like, that just brings you back to the roots of hockey, and you can't not have a good time at outdoor games. And if there was any doubt in anybody's mind, which there shouldn't have been, that the Wild in Minnesota wouldn't put on a great Winter Classic, having that Stadium Series a few years back, seeing how many people came out to that, engaged in that, loved that. I mean, I had so much fun when I went there, you know, as a fan, and you just know that this is going to be huge, and people are going to have such a great time, and hopefully they'll get it again at some point, or be a part of another one at some point, because you know, Minnesotans love this stuff, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
And like I said, the players are excited. We caught up with Eric Stahl at the outdoor practice just a couple days ago. Let's hear from him.
Yeah, I was excited. You know, definitely a thrill. I've had both of my brothers play in a few of them, so I've asked questions and you know, heard experiences from them, and they've had nothing but positive things to say about it. Pretty cool experience, and something that it was definitely on my radar as far as wanting to do before I'm done playing this game, and you know, hopefully get the opportunity next year to do it at Target Field. kind of, I think for me and probably for a lot of guys, are the memories of growing up doing it. I mean, I think that's the cool part is, you did so much of it as a kid and just for the love of the game, playing outside and just having fun and fooling around, and then to play a game that means something outside in a special environment is pretty special and cool, and especially in a baseball stadium with that many people watching. I mean, there's a lot of very neat experiences to go along with it, so it'll be fun.
And a lot of the guys echoing those sentiments. I mean, it's hard to avoid those cliches, but every player does genuinely remember being a kid. I mean, even at their outdoor practice, I was there, and they all look like a bunch of grown-up kids. There's something about outdoor hockey that just brings them back to their youth.
Well, and cliches are cliches for a reason, because it is something you can't stop talking about and bringing up. And, he touched on, just how it brings you back to the good old days. And I don't know. I'm so excited for it. When I found out, I was like, finally, I've been waiting for this for so long. And yeah, it's going to be a good time.
It's going to be great. I do have to pose one question to you, Alexis, and to our beauty audience. But do you think outdoor games are getting tired? I mean, we've had Hockey Day Minnesota here for so long. They tried the Hockey City Classic at the college level. They've expanded on the Winter Classic to the Stadium Series. Do you think it's kind of become too much? I think even the World Juniors had an outdoor game, and to think it began as just a one-time thing, and now it's really exploded.
Well, there's something to say about, doing something too much to where it loses kind of its excitement and quality and sentiment and all that stuff. But at the same time, as a hockey fan and someone who works in the industry, you could give me 10 outdoor games a year and I would be excited about it. So I do understand that you want to build up to it. You want to get people excited about it. You want it to be something that, hey, not everyone gets to do this all the time. So when you do get to do it, make the most of it and all that stuff. So there is something to say about that. But at the end of the day, I think most hockey fans would say, hey, give us as many of these as we can handle, because people love doing that stuff. Even just look at the outdoor practice the other day, how much the fans loved that. I mean, people just will eat that stuff up, and especially in a place like Minnesota where people are outdoor playing hockey all winter. So the fact that they get to then go watch the team they cheer for go and do it. I mean, I just think that at the end of the day, people are going to love this no matter how many times they get it. And, every year you hope your team's involved in it somehow. And this year, Minnesota's team is involved. So.
It's there. It's coming. It's exciting.
It'll be here before we know it. I mean, honestly.
There's going to be a whole bunch of different unveilings, the opponent, the jerseys, the whole works. It's going to be a great year, great lead up to 2021.
Yeah, for sure.
Let us know what you guys think. Do you think it's tired? Are you excited about it? Give us your thoughts. Give us a tweet.
Don't at me if you think it's tired. I don't want to hear about it.
You can at me because I'm curious. Sometimes I get I'm older though too. I've seen more of this, right? Like
that's true. Jesse's been around the block.
Been around the block in a lot of ways. But yeah, let us know what you think. And before we get into our next guest, Mr. Devan Dubnyk of the Minnesota Wild, we want to give a shout out to our presenting sponsor, SodaStick.com, who not only supply us with some sweet gear, but the Wild team too. Actually, at practice today, we noticed a couple players rocking the latest Soda Stick custom design featuring the Geek line. That's Jordan Greenway, Jewel Eriksson Eck, and Luke Cunnin. That's just one of the many custom designs being released to the public, courtesy of their work with the Wild's Andrew Haidt. Even here, some of the designs are in the work with Alex Stalock. I'm excited to see those.
I am pumped about that. That's going to be quality.
It's going to be hilarious. I can't wait to see what they kind of come up with. It should be a lot of fun. But
we should just put like an empty net on a T-shirt and be like Alex Stalock playing goalie because he's always somewhere.
Always somewhere. Exactly. But keep an eye out for those. If you're buying anything at sodastick.com, be sure to use code Bardown Beauties to get that free shipping. We are back, Bardown Beauties, presented by sodastick.com, with a very special guest, Mr. Devan Dubnyk. Devan, how are you?
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining with us to kick things off here. I do have to ask, how are you feeling after that Dumba shot?
Amazingly enough, it didn't hurt that bad. In that scenario, that would usually put me out for a while. I was straight up and down. He was upset that they lost, and I guess I don't blame him. But
I mean, to be fair, you made the save then, and you made the save beforehand, too, so really you came out ahead.
Yeah, there was nowhere to shoot, so I was standing straight up. That was probably right under the bar, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Did he apologize at all? Have you guys chatted?
Yeah, I told him dinner on the road's fine. I don't know if he's agreed to it yet. But.
So he's still going to jump in front of shots for you? And
Yeah,
games,
I
or
hope so.
Is he
Yeah,
letting you take them?
I hope so. Yeah, he's eating a few for me, so we'll try to keep that to a one-time thing.
I love it.
Well, on a little bit more of a serious note, coming into the season, you guys were a bit of an underdog, and the season, a bit of a tough start to the season, but you guys kicked it into gear here. And ended the first half of the season on a high note, considering where you guys were looking at the beginning of the season. What's it like, especially as a goaltender, to come into the season knowing there's a lot on the shoulders of the team to perform well and above the expectations that were set for you guys?
Yeah, I think we were pretty disappointed with the start. We knew all the chatter and where everybody was ranking us. I think that we all believed we were much better than that. And so I think it was pretty disappointing to start 0-5 or 1-6 or whatever we were. It was a tough way to start when we really believed that we were a good team, and everybody kind of just jumped on, "Oh, we told you so." That's what we expected to happen, and none of us did. So I think over the last little bit, it's back to what we think we're capable of doing, and I think if we continue to play like we have been over the last stretch, that we'll be in a good spot. We certainly need to improve, and we need to play some really good games at home here. But to be where we are, I think after the start that we had is a pretty good accomplishment for us, and we just got to know that we got to use this the next 41 games to really improve and work our way up the standings.
Sometimes is it easier to come into a season with lower expectations, so it makes you guys hungrier to prove people wrong, really, and say, no, we are not that bad of a team.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, for years here, we were expected to be finishing near the top, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think we were all comfortable with it, but it's also a different approach for no one to really believe that you're going to be where you think you'll be at the end of the season. So I think it's a good opportunity for us. I think we've gotten over that now. I think everybody's kind of taken notice a little bit. If you've watched us play and watched our games, how competitive we are and how we can beat anybody in the league on any given night if we play well. And so I think everyone's starting to take notice and give us a little more credit now.
Is it almost harder now that you've proven them wrong for this, at least the first half of the season, that you guys are more competitive than they expected you to be? Is it almost harder now to try to continue to live up to that expectation for the rest of the season, that you weren't the disappointments that they expected at the beginning of the season?
Yeah, well, I think we're not going to catch anybody off guard anymore as far as teams that we're playing against. The teams that we have played against have seen the way we come out and how hard we play, and it's what we've done in the past, so we're certainly not surprised. But we just have to understand that there's not going to be an easy night. Teams are going to come in, especially into XL. They're going to be prepared for us. They understand the success that we've had there this year, and so we need to realize that it's going to be that much difficult as the year goes on.
Nice to finally get that home advantage again after last year not doing as well in St. Paul.
Yeah, that was a strange phenomenon last year to have the lack of success that we've had when it's literally been every single year that the franchise has been here that they've been great at home. So it's nice to we stumbled a bit in the first home game, but to put that behind and start playing really good hockey at home is good. It feels good and it's important to get to where we want to be.
You've dealt with some off-ice stuff as well. I don't know how much you want to go into that, completely your discretion, but how much does that affect things for you too? I mean, goalie is such a mental position, and then when you're dealing with such a serious issue off the ice, family leave, and all of that, I mean, talk a little bit about that aspect as well.
Well, I think the fact that Al and Capo came in and played as well as they did, and the guys played as well as they did. You never want to be away from the group, and you want to be part of the solution and part of winning games. But it was important for me to be home. It's where I needed to be, and it makes it a lot easier when you watch the guys and they're winning games, and both goalies are playing great. There's no rush to get back there. You can get back when the time's right, and the organization was great with allowing me to come back when I was ready to. And now I feel very ready to come back, and we'll be good to go for the future going forward.
How are Jen and the boys?
Good. It's healthy or not, it's a circus at home, so certainly makes it more difficult when she wasn't feeling as good. So. She's tough though, and we battle through that every day.
in watching, were you watching a lot of the games while you were at home and keeping an eye on things? What did you think of Capo and seeing him perform?
Yeah, I watched just about every game. It was great. He's a nice kid. He works hard. He's been here for a few years now, so I was excited for him getting that first start. And you always want someone to have success and feel good. And it was fun to watch him. And he's a good goalie. It's good to have. You want to have 3 good guys in the organization because you never know injuries or anything that can happen. You need guys to be able to come up and play games and win games. And he obviously showed us that he can do that. And I was happy for him. It was fun to watch.
Now let's jump to something that I think a lot of people want to know. I know athletes are very ritualistic creatures. They have their routines, their methods, especially netminders. And I know netminders get teased a lot for how crazy that they can be, which I think you would agree with, right? You guys are a little crazy.
Yeah, you have to be a little bit.
Why are you guys that way, though?
Well, we hang out by ourselves all game, so you got to entertain yourself. You're 60 minutes standing back there alone. So no, it's
willing to get a rubber disc shot at you.
Yeah. If you really break down the position, there's no real super normal person that can be back there. But I think it used to be a lot more so where goalies would be very isolated and treated like glass sculptures. Nobody wants to throw them off. I think that's kind of gone away a little bit. I think. Guys have shown that they can do it without that, and so it's not really as accepted anymore to be an outsider and not have guys allowed to shoot above your ankles or talk to you on a game day or anything like that. So, me and Al are pretty similar that way. We're pretty involved and laid back about our approach.
Similar in that way, but you guys are 2 very different goaltenders. Complete opposites from size to style to everything. But how do you think that not only complements each other, but also what have you taken kind of from his game and maybe what have you taught him as far as putting that into your own style of play?
Well, it's great. And I know if you go around the entire league, every goalie stops the puck differently. And at the end of the day, it's just about getting it done. And he's a lot of fun to watch. I think everybody gets excited when he's in there. I mean, people say they get all nervous when he leaves the net. I think he's great at handling the puck.
I think it's fun. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I make me more nervous handling the puck than watching him. So, he's good. He's actually very good. He's patient on his feet. He doesn't, he waits. He reads the shots off the stick really well, which you have to be when to cover the top of the net as a smaller guy. You got to be really patient. He's really good to watch that way, where he really holds his feet and gets a good read off of the shot, and that's something that any goalie can work on, and myself included.
Based on your style of play that you feel most comfortable in, what are some of the toughest guys to go up against in the league here?
Yeah, well, there seems to be getting more and more. Yeah, we see obviously Nathan McKinnon is a difficult one. That whole top line actually, just as a group, when you go in a game against Colorado, it's a real tough challenge, and you're gonna have to shut them down to have an opportunity to win. They're that good. Connor Mcdavid obviously is a pretty obvious one. The amount of speed like McKinnon and McDavid that they have, and it's not just linear speed, but the side to side and the puck handling. As a goalie, sometimes it's easy to feel like you got to go faster than you do. I mean, just because they're moving really fast doesn't mean that you have to go any faster.
You only have so much space to go.
You still only have a couple feet, but when they're coming down and everything's moving, it's actually a challenge to not get yourself going at the same speed. And I got to keep my feet up with McDavid. I'm probably going to lose that battle.
I think most people lose that battle, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna want to find my spot and wait there. So it's a good challenge. But I mean, you go through the teams in the league. There's just so many good young players, skilled players coming up that it's a challenge every night. And you got to try to take away their time and space as much as you can, because I think. You just look at players like that. There's no scenario where if you let them loose with time and space, it ends up in the net. It's just kind of the way it is. So
the way it is, right? Exactly. Is there one goal that you've allowed in your career that just still gives you nightmares at all? I mean, I know you don't want to dwell on those things, but are there times when you've woken up in a cold sweat, like, oh,
he's never gonna come back on the podcast?
No. Well, fortunately,
to get some sleep before the doubleheader this weekend.
I'm old enough now that things don't really bother me much anymore. I would get more pissed off about a goal that I thought I did something that I could have done better on rather than, I fortunately haven't had anything too crazy at the NHL level. There was a goal in the American League in Springfield that I let in from the other end of the ice. It was a really, really weird
Knuckler?
scenario. No, I didn't see it.
Like at all.
Like I literally didn't see the puck.
So you're just standing there.
And my coach to this day at the time he was so mad at me. It didn't. The
how old
the
were you
goal
when you were
didn't
there?
matter. I was 21 at this time, 21 or 22, and it didn't matter. We were winning 5-0. It just blew my shutout with
So
5
hurt
minutes
yourself
left.
more
in the,
than
yeah,
anything.
and he still doesn't believe me to this day that I didn't see. He thought I wasn't paying attention. So. I'll try to explain this. So we had a 4-on-3 power play, and the face-off was in the other end of the ice. And sometimes the ref will blow the whistle right before they drop the puck.
Mm-hmm.
So the referee at the blue line on the other side blew the whistle for some reason, and I thought he was kicking someone out of the face-off circle. So I just happened to look over at the guy away from the face-off dot, and they dropped the puck, and the guy snapped it back, and the defenseman just took a full one-timer right off the draw. And so by the time I looked back, everybody was skating towards me, looking at me, and the puck, he got the puck like way up in the air. And in Springfield, I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but there's dark seats and there's no one in them. So
Oh,
there
sure.
was I was not picking the
Lost
puck
it
up.
in the crowd.
There's not the crowd,
Like in
but
the
yeah,
chairs.
yes, in the blue chairs. So I'm standing there, and I'm like scanning around. And so I kind of start to like move over, like I know where the puck is, like I'm gonna go play it, and then all of a sudden it just like goes by my shoulder in the top of the net. And
What was your first thought?
well, I didn't have a graceful reaction. I like didn't know what to do, so I kind of like fell down into a butterfly, like
Just to pretend like you
sorta
made the
like
effort.
I tried to just
Fake
missed
an
it.
injury,
And, yeah,
anything?
it was bad. Yeah, and there was another time too in Springfield, actually, that I got scored on, and again somehow didn't know. You can tell the atmosphere there is really. But there was a scramble around the. I still don't know how this happened either. There's a scramble around the net. Everybody's jamming away, and it somehow ends up in the net. And obviously, it's crickets, so play kind of goes on. We weren't very good at this time either, so everybody reacted like it was normal that we got scored on. So I was just kind of looking around, and I don't know how my brain didn't register that the face-off was at center ice, but there was like a big scrum
Like
after.
normal.
Like there's everybody fought after because it's what they did then, and then the puck dropped, and I'm sitting there, and like 5 minutes later, I look at this. I'm like, why does it say it's 1-0?
So you
Doesn't
Where did
make
that goal
for a
come
full
from?
5 minutes, you didn't even
like,
register there was a
until I
goal
went to
scored
the
on
bench.
you.
Yes, I went to the bench, and I was like, "Is it like why does it say it's 1-0?
Gotta
Are they
fix
going
that
to change that?"
scoreboard.
And they're like, "Dude, you got scored on." And I was like, "This is professional hockey." And I was like, "Oh my god, what do you mean?
And you're like, yeah,
What do you-
totally.
what
I
is
was
that?
testing
Yeah.
you guys.
When?" No, I was like
Was I there?
terrified.
Was I
was
there
like,
for
"Did I
it?"
black out?" I was like, "When did I get scored on? I have not let in a goal today. What is happening?"
I could just. What was your coach's reaction then?
Oh, I wasn't talking to the coach.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
Can't let him know.
Which
that.
one happened first? The one from the other end of the ice, like in the season or in the years
This
that
was
happened?
these were separate years.
Separate years,
Yeah,
okay.
the goal that I didn't know I let in was first.
Okay.
I think I was. I was
So the
like
nightmares
21
of
at
that had
time.
subsided, and then this whole debacle happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was a little bit older and a little more in a position to not let the one from the other
Right.
end bother me. And like I said, you always want to get not that you ever want to let them in, but if you're gonna let them in, make it when it doesn't matter.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't make it like the game
You left
tying
all of these back in
goal.
the AHL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. Yeah.
It's all timing. You can let in an awful goal if it doesn't matter. Everyone's
Yeah.
gonna forget about it. No one's gonna care if it's the game tying goal with like a minute left.
Same
you're-
goal scored the same way, two different
Yeah,
reactions.
exactly.
Right?
Then you're guaranteed gonna let in the next one, and then everybody's gonna remember it.
I love it. What about a shutout? Do you remember every single shutout that you had in your career? Was there one that really meant more than any, or are they all kind of?
They're hiding behind the memories of the two
the
goals
two-
that he
yeah.
let in
Yes,
the AHL.
yes. It's. I used to be able to remember like every single goal that I let in, and like I could recite to you every shot in the game. It's kind of going away now. I think I'm just getting old, but
Is that something you kind of trained yourself to do as a goaltender, or is that just you just have a great memory?
I don't know. It just like you're always going over the goals
Right.
in your head, what you would have done differently, what happened, could you have stopped it, should you have done something better, and they would just stick with me. I I used to be able to go through an entire season, and from game 1 to 82, I could tell you
You
exactly
did that
how.
on Hockey Night in Canada.
Yeah, that was a little.
Right?
They took it easy on me because they did like the game before, but
Yeah.
but I could, when I was a little bit younger, I could literally go from 1 to 82 and tell you exactly how every single goal that I let in, how it, like how the play developed and how it went in.
That's
And
remarkable.
I
Actually.
could probably get pretty close now, but it's not
Isn't that
quite
just
as
never-ending
sharp.
stress, just to remind yourself over and over again what you could have done differently? Or
Yeah.
is it a good thing that you can think, I could have done this differently, and I'm not going to make that mistake again?
Yeah, that's really all it is. You're just trying to find a better way to get it done, and I'm always you're always just trying to. You always feel like you can stop every shot, unless it's something completely ridiculous. But there's not really a play that happens on the ice where, unless it's like going 4 feet wide and hits a shin pad and goes in the net, where there isn't something that you could have done differently. So you're always feeling like, okay, regardless, your fault, not your fault, you're thinking like, I could have done something to stop that puck. So it's just this constant challenge in your head and you want to go on the ice every game and feel like you can stop every shot no matter what play happens. And so you just, I've always just tried to have that attitude that I feel like I should be able to stop every shot, give or take scenarios. And then you go out there confident because you feel like you can do that. Not like it's realistic or that I've done that at all this year. But I still feel that way.
Right. That's good. That's a start, though, right? I mean, how do you handle some of those criticisms, especially here in Minnesota, where you have such knowledgeable, passionate fans who can be hard,
Occasionally
on every
angry.
player?
Yes.
Yeah.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
It's tough sometimes. It's been pretty good since I've been here. I haven't had to deal with it as much. Dealt with it a lot in Edmonton. Didn't really seem, there were times where just
Those are some passionate fans too.
yeah, and we weren't very good, and I was raw and young and learning too. So
I mean, some of your best seasons have been with the Wild, so I guess that makes it a little bit easier too, right?
yeah. So it's still it's disappointing when obviously the season doesn't start the way you want it to. Especially for the first 3 games, I felt really really good in the net, and the games were really close, and we're just kind of one play that ends up they go ahead and we just weren't finding a way to get points or to get it done, and then start to lose a little bit of confidence or overthink a little bit for the next few games, and then I had the injury, and then you come back, and it's just kind of a weird breakdown to the season, and I started feeling better coming back, but it's frustrating. You hear stuff, people are upset that the team's not winning. It's pro sports. That's the way it's going to be. But you have to find a way to. No one's going to do it for you. No one's going to if you're not playing well, no one's going to be like, oh well, no, he really is great. Just keep him going in there,
He's
giving
a
up
nice
5.
guy.
Eventually, he's going to not give up 5. Like you got to find a way to do it yourself.
Sure.
And so sometimes it's healthy to just hear it. It's not always. It depends on who you are as a person. I find that sometimes it's okay to just listen to it, and yes, it might frustrate you. Maybe it's not fair. Maybe you whatever it is, it's okay to just hear it and then let it go. And then eventually, you just have to find a way to get back to being comfortable and being confident and understand that it's going to turn around. We were talking about 7 or 8 games out of 10 seasons, and it's it's easy to jump to conclusions and everybody panic, but it's my job to do the opposite. So it's been nice the last since I have come back to just be back to feeling like myself and feeling confident in there.
Right. And the team's looking great. Again, Devan Dubnyk joining us. We'll let you get going. We know you got a busy day. Got parents to go pick up at the airport.
Tell your
Yes.
mom and dad we say thanks
Yes.
for taking your time.
I will. That's usually my own fault anyway. I talk too much. It's like everybody tries to get me out of here quick, but I won't shut up. So.
No, we love it. We absolutely love it. We'll definitely have to have you back again.
For sure.
But again, thank you. Best of luck the rest of the season. We'll
Thank
be
you.
cheering you on and look forward to it.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Thanks, Devin.
Thanks.
And now it's time for our State of Hockey Spotlight. We wanted to talk a little bit about pond hockey, keeping in our outdoor hockey theme. Some big pond hockey tournaments coming up, Alexis.
Yeah, that's just another way. Like I said earlier, Minnesotans love their outdoor hockey. You will find Minnesotans on ponds, rinks, anything that has ice that they can skate on. They will be doing it in the wintertime. So just another great way for people to get out there, enjoy some hockey. And a lot of it goes over the same weekend as Hockey Day, right? So just another option of things to do.
It's one of them for sure, the North American Pond Hockey Championship out on Lake Minnetonka, which is presented by Cambria, and actually the beneficiary is Give 16, Jason Zucker's foundation. So very cool event. Great pond hockey tournament. I believe you can still even maybe register teams. Don't quote me on that. Go and check out pondhockeylakeminnetonka.com to verify that. But a fun way. They've got a bags tournament, I think. They've got concerts. They've got a whole bunch of stuff, and it's all outside where us Minnesotans truly thrive.
Well, and Fred said he brought his child once, so approved, child-friendly. And
child-friendly, but there are beers. I know I walk around with a tall boy, enjoy yourself too.
Well, baby in one hand, beer in the other.
That's why you have two hands.
That's right.
Exactly. Says the childless,
lonesome 24-year-old.
I envy you so much. The other pond hockey tournament that's coming up toward the end of the month is the U.S. Pond Hockey Championships out on Lake Nokomis. That's where you win the golden shovel. I know my cousin actually won that once upon a time. Shout out Ariel Mackley. Way to go, girl. But it's another great tournament. Same type of stuff. Great atmosphere. I think they have youth night going on. A lot of cool things to check out.
Well, yeah, and that's just a fun way to meet new people and other people who love the sport as well and who love playing. And it's a great way. Like, there's so many people, when you think about it, who played, growing up in high school, maybe even at the collegiate level. And, sometimes it's hard to get back into those sports as you get older because, A, you either don't have the time for it, you don't have, whatever, especially hockey because you need a rink. You can't just, lace up and head out to your driveway. Yeah. So it's a good opportunity for people who maybe have been out of the sport for a while or just want, to get back with people who also love the sport. So a lot of cool opportunities. And, this next month is going to be pretty exciting here.
And there are different divisions in each of those tournaments. So if you've never played the game, I believe they've got a division for you. If you're over 40, they've got a division for you. If you have college experience, even some pro experience, there's a division for you. So really you can jump on in and join. Again, might be a little late to register for this year, but go check it out. Go cheer on some people. Have some fun, have some drinks, bring your kids, listen
grab
to
a
some
beer,
music.
grab a baby. It doesn't even have to be your own baby. Maybe Fred needs a babysitter.
Maybe Fred might need a babysitter. We'll see. Who knows? I love it. But yeah, just another way to get outside. I mean, us Minnesotans, we're crammed indoors for so long. It's nice to have that outlet to get out and enjoy it. So that's kind of our State of Hockey Spotlight this week. If you have any ideas, we'd love to focus on some grassroots stuff, anything that focuses back here on Minnesota. Shoot us a note. Let us know. Let's see if we can get it on air and get it some exposure. And that's a wrap on episode 2 of Bardown Beauties, presented by sodastick.com. Big shout out to Devan Dubnyk for joining us, and even bigger shout out to the Minnesota Wild PR, Aaron Sickman, Megan Kogut for making that happen. Appreciate you guys. And of course, appreciate you listeners. Without you, this really isn't a thing. I don't even know if it's a thing. Really, right?
Yeah, I mean, without you guys, we're just talking into mics and then
Which
nobody's
is still
listening.
fun.
Yeah, I'm having fun.
I'm having a great time.
Fred, same time next week?
Same time?
I'll be there.
Yep, tune in next week for episode 3 where Fox Sports reporter Kevin Gorg joins us. Love us some Papa Gorg.
Yeah, he's like my second dad, and he will say that I'm his imaginary fourth daughter. So you want to tune into that episode because KG and I go back. I know Jesse and him go back.
I don't even know if I'll be present for the next episode. I might just sit it out, let them go.
KG's tagging in.
Yeah, exactly. So tune in next week. We'll preview Hockey Day Minnesota. Plenty of other storylines as well. Thanks so much.